NBA, um, probably my favorite sport to watch. Volleyball, NBA right here, but it definitely become my favorite sport to watch. Even though there's some things I would like to see different about the NBA, I definitely am not a big fan of how they call fouls now. I think everything is a foul, and it's pretty tricky to tell like the difference. Somebody might drive the lane and like bump their body and have their arm raked and lay it up and it's no foul, but then like if a person does a step back and then like has their elbow touched, it's like a foul. Like for me, there's too much ambiguity in the game,
Yeah.
but that being said, it's still interesting to me because sometimes ambiguity makes interest and popcorn moments for
Mhm.
the audience. So in the NBA, the thing I keep going back to is how many talented players there are in the league right now. Every team has somebody with, I can score 30 points, I can get 10 assists, I can get rebounds. And there's an argument to be made, it's not as much of a team game, it's not as much as move the ball. There's more
Yeah.
ISO, there's more pull up threes. But the talent level, I've never seen it how it is now. Every team, really has people who can do it at a high level. And there's teams who have superstars who are like ranked 10th in their league type
Yeah.
situation. So, I mean, look at the 76ers, right? Like you have three literally all-stars on your
Mhm.
team, but
Can't play together.
yeah, not doing it that well so far.
Can't
So
play together.
NBA, where are you right now? Like, what have you been seeing in the league? What things you paying attention to down the stretch as we get to the back end of this NBA Cup?
I'm just looking at the cup, and I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of similarities here. Like there's a lot of teams that are 3-1,
Mm-hmm.
2-2, like trying to get into those playoffs so they can get the extra money. I think
Mm-hmm.
you can make like 100, 200K or something like
Yeah, I
that, a
think
half a
everybody makes
million.
500,000 for the winner last year. I don't know what it is this year, but last year everybody won 500,000 on the
Yeah,
Lakers.
it's like an extra little pot of money, which is good. I mean, for me, I think the league is always fun to see, but it's just become uh like a Curry league.
Yeah,
Like
a lot of threes.
the Curry effect. And it's like not clearly nobody is Curry,
Right.
period.
Yeah.
So there's only so much you can do with that. What's tough is that everybody is a stretch now.
Mm-hmm.
So you got your stretch center, your stretch power forward. The league has gotten smaller,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's not as many 7 footers as there used to be. There's a few, but everybody else is like, no, no, no. Now we can all play defense. Now we can shoot the three. Now we can pass. Now we can all rebound. So it's kind of like a 3 and D type of league.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to me, it's just really weird though. I'm like, I don't understand why, since everybody's shooting threes, the defenses aren't built for that. Like,
Right.
it's really weird. Like, if you watch a basketball game, everybody's still like protecting paint.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see a lot of people like stay home and they'll come off screens and they'll move. And then you're like, how does this person end up wide open?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you guys just almost switch everything?
Right.
Like, if you guys switch everything, then screens almost don't matter.
Right.
So it's just interesting, like the way the defenses are set up because they're shooting so many threes, like what, 40, 50 threes a
A
game. I'm
lot.
like, if they're hitting, shoot, even like 40%,
It's a wrap.
30%, you're
Yeah.
dismantled.
Yeah, it's a wrap. No, I agree. And the only time you really see that switch concept, you really get in trouble with it is when you have like a Steph Curry and get switched on to Rudy Gobert, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, I'm just gonna put you in the blender and like
Oh,
lay
for
it up
sure.
on you type
I'm put
situation.
you to bed.
But for the most part, when you're talking like the twos through the fours,
Yeah.
everything's almost
Everything should
switchable, and that to
switch.
me is the benefit of having like a big or a small.
Yeah.
Like, and we're not in a space in the league where it's great to have like a small person from a defensive standpoint, unless they can shoot the lights out like a Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Um, like you start to see, and no disrespect to Chris Paul, he just literally is number two all time on the assists. He's a great player, but the Chris Paul type player doesn't have the same effect in the league anymore because the league isn't looking for somebody to hold the ball, pound it, make the lob decisions, assist it. It's more
Hmm.
like everybody on the team needs to be able to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to be able to shoot the three,
Yeah.
also get to the lane, play defense with length,
Hmm.
and then not make stupid decisions and hack people at the wrong time. Like,
Agreed.
and
Agreed.
so if you have more people who are in that like a Jaden McDaniels type build,
It's a
uh,
6-6, 6-7 league now.
mm-hmm,
If we boil it down,
mm-hmm,
you want to be 6-6, 6-7, shoot 30 to 40% from beyond the arc, play really good defense, be able to go in the lane and dunk,
Mhm.
and then be able to grab 4 or 5 rebounds if you're exceptional, grab more.
Mhm.
But it's more of like, can we get the heights more similar because everything can be switched?
Yeah.
And then we got 1 or 2 guys that are like 6'9", 6'10" that go and grab rebounds.
Exactly. And like you're always gonna have the anomalies, the Jokic, who like I'm huge, but I also have, ball
Yeah.
skills and touch and all this stuff, and Wemby, right? But those are gonna be the superstars. If you
Yeah.
want to be a good role player, it is that space where it's no longer like the Derek Fisher is what you
Mm,
used to look for.
yeah.
Now it's more like a Jaden McDaniels type is gonna be like the prototypical role player,
Hmm.
right? Like,
Hmm.
hey, he's not gonna be our superstar, but we need this guy to win type
Yeah,
situation.
you want a like a Jimmy Butler
Yeah,
body
like a
type for
Trevor Ariza.
a
Yeah.
lot of the players in your league to look like that type of person.
Hmm.
Like, okay, you're not gonna really put them in a blender. They're gonna do what they do defensively, and then
Hmm.
they're gonna catch the ball wide open,
Yeah.
hit the three.
Love it. Okay, so NBA Cup. It's pretty tricky to tell, honestly. Like the Celtics are gonna continue to be like the quiet top dog. Like I
Hmm.
believe a lot of people do expect them to be in that mix or potentially repeat, but people don't talk about them a lot because they're
Yep.
not like the sexy team for some reason.
Yeah.
But people want to talk about the Lakers, who want to talk about the Knicks, their big cities
Mm.
type of situation. Then also people are wanting to talk about the Timberwolves because Anthony Edwards, like there's a big push to make him the face of the league. You can
Yeah.
feel it. Like
Oh yeah.
and people love that Steph Curry started off the year well,
Yeah.
after losing Klay Thompson, the Golden State Warriors were doing their thing. Oklahoma City Thunder again, they're not like the sexy pick for people,
Shea
but they're
Gilgeous.
playing so well. Even without Chet Holmgren, they're playing so well.
Mm.
So it just goes back to the team concept we've talked about in the past. Like when you have that team concept and you have the ability to work together and galvanize,
Yeah.
then you're gonna do well. And if you can do well during the regular season, you set yourself up at least to do well in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
you could end up being the 1 seed and get a total landmine as an 8 seed, and it can all be for naught. But most of the time, the 1 seed and the 2 seed, they do advance in the playoffs. That's just how
Oh,
it goes.
100%. Once again, it's just a team chemistry conversation. Like
Yeah.
it's not a superstar conversation.
Mhm.
Like it's not put these 3 or 4 superstars together and then they're just going to gel and play amazingly. You're forgetting there's only one ball,
Yeah.
right? So it's like maybe we get like 2 superstars and then we get an all-star and then there's role players.
Yeah.
So then you guys have to make it fit.
Yeah.
If it fits in that situation, then yeah, your team chemistry should be fine. But if not, everybody wants the ball. Nobody's like, nah, I'm not gonna take the step back. I'm like, then you're gonna have problems with the entire team.
Right.
So that's the issue.
Okay. So if you had to pick one team who's gonna win the NBA Cup, what would you say?
I don't know. I'm looking at this list right now. This is a tough decision. Um, I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the
Let's see. Ooh,
Giannis.
it's already there,
Giannis.
huh? Wow.
Giannis
The
Antetokounmpo.
Celtics aren't in?
No.
No, apparently not. I mean, if this is accurate, it says OKC's in the semifinals. This is 2024, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
the set up top,
Las
right?
Vegas, yeah. So semifinals OKC and then Rockets versus Golden State, Knicks versus Hawks, and then Bucks.
Well, yeah, because the Hawks were at the top of their list. The Bucks were at the top. The Knicks were at the top,
Mm,
and the Warriors were at the top. Thunder was at the top. Rockets are at the top.
interesting.
So yeah, and the Bucks are at the top of theirs.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna
with the
say,
Bucks,
yeah, Bucks are hard to go against. You might be right about that, but just to
yeah.
have some differentiation, I'm gonna go with Golden State. I'm gonna go with Golden State. I think it's a tough pick because Golden State could totally win it or be like last.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go with Golden State. I think the Bucks is a good pick though. If you wouldn't have picked the Bucks, I'd probably pick the Bucks in that. But Golden
Giannis.
State, I'm gonna go with. All right.